Hey guys, it's Mackenzie. Welcome back to my channel. So today we have a ship with me video. We are shipping out $693 in sales, 22 items, and so divided out, my average sale price comes out to $31.50, which I'm happy with. You guys know that across the board I do aim for a $28 average sale price, so $31.50. I'm thrilled about that. My cost of goods for everything you will see shipped out today came out to $48. I spent $48 on all 22 items. So I took $48 and turned it into $693 in sales. So I'm proud of that. I'm happy with that. We did have some higher price sales and also some lower ones. Everything averages out to be an average sale price that I'm happy with, so that's what matters, and let's go ahead and get into it. Our first sale is going to be a men's hat. This was the only item to sell over in my men's closet. It is a vintage hat. It's really cool. They had a new rotation at the bins, and someone picked up a stack of hats and moved them into an older bin for whatever reason, and I walked over and this hat was in that stack along with a couple others. I've sold one, a Clausen vintage pickle hat. That one sold for $30. This one I had listed at $30 also, but I did take an offer of $20, and so my earnings were $16 and my profit was around $15. This is incredibly lightweight. And so yeah, there were, I would say, like 10 hats in the stack, but the others were not in good enough condition for me to pick up. They were all vintage hats, but some had been very clearly just not cared for. This one and the other one that I sold were basically like new, though. They didn't have any signs of wear. So I was very happy to find these cool vintage hats. Definitely there's a market for them. And yeah, you want to make sure that you add in all of the keywords: snapback, vintage, dead stock. If the tags are still on, but it is vintage, dead stock would be the keyword to use there. So yeah, profit of $15. I'm happy with that. This took me maybe like 3-4 minutes, maximum 5, to photo and get listed. So 5 minutes into $15, I'm happy with that. I maybe should have put this, no, I think we're fine. I still have not received my Ground Advantage boxes, so I'm gonna have to look into that. I was seeing on Instagram that people, it was taking a while to receive theirs, and so they sent other emails requesting them, and then they ended up with a huge amount of boxes because they sent more than one email, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to give it a couple more weeks, and then maybe I'll call and see what the deal is. But for now, I have been able to make it work with my 2 different size poly mailers, which I do have both of these linked in my description. I have this larger one and then the smaller one I just used. I also do have the link to the page on Poshmark where they instruct you how to order the Ground Advantage boxes. That's all in the description of this video. Okay, now we're switching into women's clothing. We first off have a 3-item bundle. First off is this Chico size 1, which is equivalent to a US women's size 8-10. Really pretty embroidered, I guess, is that, yeah, it's embroidered. It has like an overlay that's embroidered. It is linen. I want to say, this feels like 100% linen. Body's linen and cotton. So it is all natural materials, very breathable. I picked this up at the bins probably like 3 to 6 months ago. I'm surprised this sat for so long because Chico's typically sells very quickly for me, especially the more boho or intricate pieces like this. So this was kind of an anomaly piece, I'd say. Second is Torrid size 00, which I rarely, if ever, pick up torrid pieces that are not plus sizes because they just sit forever for me. This one I would say has sat for, again, maybe like 3 to 6 months. But I did originally get it because it's from 2022. It looks brand new, and I just thought the style was really cute to it. I got this at the Family Thrift Center outlet, so I did pay around $2 for it. And so yeah, I'm happy to see both of these items sell. I want to say these were both very recently relisted. So I've said it before, I'll say it a million more times. You guys need to be relisting because that is such a great way to get new eyes on old listings and get them out the door. Okay, third and last piece in this bundle is a Lands' End one-piece swimsuit dress. So it has the one-piece swimsuit underneath and then the dress overlay. Really nice. Lands' End is just a very reputable brand. It's a household name. People know it. They love it. They depend on it. And so when I found this again at the Family Thrift Center outlet, I had to pick it up. I am happy to see this sell before we fully switch into fall and winter time, which I would argue we are. Even here in Houston, we're having our very last pool weekends for the pool. I was out there over the weekend and we definitely had a breeze going on, but still blazing sun. So yeah, happy to, I might go into my closet and discount all of my heavy summer wear and try to move it out so that it doesn't sit over the next couple seasons. So for this 3-item bundle, when everything was added together, the bundle price came out to $95. However, I do have an automatic 15% off discount of 3 items or more in my closet. And so that brought the sales total down to $81. And the bundle was purchased at that discounted full price of $81, making my earnings $64. My cost of goods for all 3 pieces were $7. And so my profit on this bundle was $57, which I am happy with. I always love to see pieces that have been in my closet for a while sell, and also out of season pieces. And I mean, I hope the buyer loves it. That's a really nice bundle. Love the Chico's top. That was one of my favorite Chico's pieces I had found in a while. Okay, next we have another 3-item bundle. And in contrast to the last bundle, all 3 of these pieces are very fall centered, I would say. These are definitely kind of like my fall bread and butter pieces that I like to pick up. So first off is this soft surroundings, one size knit kimono poncho wrap sweater top overlay. Really nice. Kind of has like an Asian theme to it. This kind of stuff is just, you know, I can throw it on my mannequin, picture it quickly, get it listed quickly, and spend less time on it. And as we all know, time is money. So I'm a huge proponent of picking up scarves, hats, children's clothing, belts, purses, anything that I can quickly flat lay. And I don't have to spend a lot of time taking measurements or steaming. Steaming is such a time suck. I am thrilled to pick that kind of stuff up and get it listed quickly. Okay, so that's our first piece. Second is this gorgeous scarf wrap. This is 100% wool, I believe. This is so high quality. It is, I mean, seriously, yeah, 100% new wool. The brand is Milson and Lewis, and it has all of this very intricate beading It's a paisley print, and then throughout the paisley print, you have beading and little like mirrored pieces. Very cool. And this had zero signs of wear. Wool is a material that does show wear pretty easily. It just gets kind of like a rough texture to it. You also see holes with wool, but this is flawless condition. And this kind of piece I just put on my mannequin, and I do try to show all the different ways you can wear it. I had it as a wrap. I probably had it as a scarf. It's very rectangular, so I don't know if I made it into a scarf, but yeah, I do use my mannequin to try to show all the different variations of wearing wraps and scarves if I can. And then lastly in this bundle is this really cool novelty printed scarf by the brand Story Arts. It has music printed on it. I have voiced many times on my channel that novelty prints sell very well for me, especially anything like cool and quirky like music or animals, dogs, cats, mushrooms are a big print that people seem to like. And you do want to add in keywords with that kind of stuff, like quirky, novelty, print, choir for this particular piece, music teacher. You want to try to hone in on, you know, the specific audience of that piece. So when the three of these pieces were added together, the bundle price came out to $87 and I was offered $74. I did accept that. I've had the wool beaded scarf for, let's say maybe like 3 or 4 months now. The Story Arts scarf I listed within the month, maybe like 3 weeks ago, a couple weeks ago. And the soft surroundings poncho piece I have had listed for, I would say 6 months, maybe like 6 to 8 months. So yeah, I did want to accept the $74 offer, making my earnings $59.20. I paid $6 for all 3 pieces, making my profit $53 on this bundle. So really cool pieces. Again, I hope the buyer loves her bundle and wears everything throughout the upcoming colder weather. Okay, now we have a really exciting sale. When I tell you how happy I was to see this offer come through, the brand on this jumpsuit is Humanoid, and the reason I say I was so excited was because I received this piece in a ThredUp clothing mystery box maybe like a year, possibly 2 years ago. And I Googled the brand. I could tell that it was kind of like an obscure brand. Didn't really seem to have too high of a demand on the secondhand market, but the comps were pretty good. So it seemed like you kind of just had to list it and wait for the right buyer to be searching out this brand. And so that's what I did. I listed it high at $130. It is really nice. It looks brand new. It's a very like minimalist, modern, contemporary style jumpsuit with genuine lamb leather details going down the button front. And so yeah, I listed at $130. It was recently relisted, and soon after someone offered me $90 for this jumpsuit. So I could not have hit the accept button faster. I am so excited to move this out because I have had it for a while, especially at such a great offer price. I do think, you know, this is still a win-win though, because this brand does seem to retail for quite a bit, and it is a very high quality piece. It's also a little bit more substantial, I would argue, being a full-length jumpsuit and with having the lamb leather details. So my earnings came out to $72. I don't really remember what my cost of goods were on that ThredUp clothing box. I would guess somewhere around $5 for what I listed. And so my profit was $67. I believe that was one of their like 200-pound clothing mystery boxes back when they used to be decent. Nowadays, I do not think that they are. But I don't know. I haven't ordered one in a while. It's just, you know, it's such a, it demands so much time. You have to unbox everything, sort through it. But, you know, you do save a lot of time by not having to go out and source it. So it's that, you know, kind of compensates. But I don't know. I just, with having such a good bins here in Houston, I just don't think it's worth it for me to order the mystery boxes. I would rather pick out my items. Okay, next up we have a pair of jeans, printed jeans, camo printed jeans to be more specific, by the brand Veronica Beard. These are the Carly Kick Flare High Rise. Really cute. They have an exposed button fly. I received these from a friend. If you watched one of my, I think my last shipping video, I sold the first pair that she gave me. She gave me 2 pair of Veronica Beard jeans. The first pair already sold, I want to say for like $70. These I had listed at $75 and was offered $65. So I did accept that, making my earnings $52. So yeah, she gave these to me to see if I wanted to wear them. But unfortunately, they were too small for me. And so I did go ahead and get them listed. And I'm very happy with the return, $52. So it definitely pays to tell your friends what you do, spread the word. A lot of people, you know, my friends know to pass their unwanted clothing along to me versus donating it, and that really helps me out. I help my friends out in other ways. You know, I work from home, and so I am kind of the on-call friend if anyone needs anything. Okay, now we have a cardigan piece. I think this is so pretty. The brand is, I believe the brand is actually made in Italy. It's a size medium, and the body is like a really soft, thin jersey material, but then you have this 100% silk side panels in front, floral printed. So yeah, this is just, it's very feminine and delicate, and just such a nice lightweight layering piece for fall time. This is like the epitome of pretty transitional weather piece. So I had this listed at $35, mostly because it is made of nicer materials, being 100% silk in front, and I was offered $20. I did counter that to $24. I would have ideally liked to get $28 on this, but I haven't really seen a lot of action on it, and so I did counter just to $24. That was accepted, making my earnings $19. I did get this from the Family Thrift Center outlets maybe a couple months ago, 2 to 3 months, for $2.50. And so my profit on this cardigan came out to $16.50. So I'm happy with that. You know, when I go and shop at that store, some pieces that I pick up will sell for more, some will sell for less, and it all adds up at the end of the day. That's what this job is about, is everything adding up. I know some people do have a business model where they only pick up pieces that are going to sell for a certain amount plus, but you know, I feel like I would only be able to do that if this were my part-time job, just because those type of sales take the right buyer, and they also take longer, in my opinion, in my experience, I would say. I like to have lower, more bread and butter pieces mixed in throughout my closet, because I feel like that really encourages bundles and just those like tried and true sales that pay my bills, really, that are always coming in, the like $20 to $28 sales. Okay, speaking of, this is a great example. We have an Athleta t-shirt. So even though this is just a very basic bread and butter, pretty plain t-shirt, It did have a lot going for it, and that is why I did want to get it when I found it at the bins. So first off, it is from the bins and it is very lightweight. This probably only cost me about $1 individually. It's from 2024, so a newer piece. It is brand new. It still has the sticker on the inside, and it also has really nice, thoughtful details like an adhesive strip at the bottom hem to keep the bottom hem from riding up when you're doing activities, hiking, yoga, whatever. And this was also a popular style from Athleta. I think it was still selling online. So for all those reasons, I definitely wanted to get it, even though it is kind of plain. And it sold quickly. Within a couple weeks of being listed, I had it up for $30 and was offered $25, which I did accept. That made my earnings $20 and my profit $19 on this top. This is one of those easy breezy pieces. It took me probably like 30 seconds to get steamed. It's not a wrinkly material. Very fast measurements and quick listing. I would say, a little bit pickier with Athleta these days. I definitely stick to the newer pieces, and like the older leggings I do not pick up at all. They sit forever. But a lot of the tops and sports bras do still sell well, and the pants if they're newer, and shorts and skirts. Skirts have been huge, as well as athletic dresses. Okay, moving along, we have a jumpsuit by the brand ModCloth. And I was sent this in a mystery box from Courtney over at Magnolia Thrifts. Go give her YouTube channel a follow. So this is ModCloth, which I do love selling this brand. It's a size 1X. It originally retailed for $95. It's new without tags. It still has the extra buttons. Linen blend. The bust is lined. The cut is very on trend with this like halter neckline and then full length wide leg pant, and it's a linen blend. It is missing its belt, but because it had so much going for it otherwise, I definitely still wanted to go ahead and get it listed. Also, the print is so cute. I definitely added in keywords like retro with the halter neckline, quirky, fun, spring, breathable. I had this listed at $35. Someone offered me $28 after maybe like 2 or 3 months of being listed. I did accept that, making my earnings $22.40. And my profit was somewhere around $20 on this jumpsuit. So very happy with that. Thank you, Courtney, for sending this my way. I absolutely love listing and selling ModCloth, especially the fun prints. The quirkier print, the better. And this was a plus size, which is great. I would say plus size, especially in the really like pinup, rockabilly, retro style. Plus size definitely does the best. But across the board, ModCloth sells very well for me, the brand. I just sold a cat printed ModCloth dress for $35, I want to say, and that was a smaller size. That was a size small. And it had fading. So that just kind of shows you. So next up we have a Free People jacket in a size extra small. This is definitely an older piece from the Free People brand. However, it has that whole military-esque vibe to it. And that is a specific style within Free People that people do search out. It does have a following, the military jackets, mostly the jackets. I've sold several of them over the years. This one, when I found it at the bins, maybe like 6 months ago, maybe a year ago actually, I did anticipate it sitting just because it is older. But I knew that eventually someone who is searching out this military style from Free People would end up purchasing it. So I had it listed at $48. I want to say it was recently relisted. I'm almost positive. Someone liked it, and so my PosherVA sent them out a $43 offer with discount ship, and that was accepted. making my earnings $32.40 and my profit $30 on this jacket. Okay, next up we have an kimono. This is so cute. I love this. Wide sleeves. It's long line. I think because these two sides are longer, you can tie them. It also has a really fun novelty bird print in back. This is a size medium large. And yeah, layering pieces from are solid sellers for me, especially if they have like really fun boho prints. They're long line, nicer materials. This is just like a lightweight rayon, but the really pretty boho print definitely carries this piece, I would say, as well as the longer length and the seasonality. We are prime time for layering pieces right now. So I listed this at $28. Someone liked it, and so my PosherVA sent them out a $25 offer with discounted shipping, and to that they countered at $20, which I countered back to $22, and that was accepted. My earnings were $17.34, and my profit was around $15 on this kimono. I did get this at the bins, and it's only been listed a couple weeks, so relatively fast sale here. The new Texas tax has gone into effect now. We have another tax. I'm not quite clear on what it is. I believe it is 6% of 80% of Poshmark's 20% that they take out. So for example, if I sold a piece for $25, my earnings would be $20 because Poshmark's, the part that goes into Poshmark's pocket, is $5. So that 20% amount that Poshmark makes, the $5, we are now taxed 6% of that $5. So it's like 25 cents, I think. So, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but everything adds up. That's just another expense. But, you know, we have been recently given a break with the shipping discount and, you know, the shipping being cheaper. And so I'm not too worried about it. I think we'll all be fine in the end. Okay, now we have a UCLA embroidered graphic sweatshirt. When I found this at the Family Thrift Center outlet, you might have seen the Shop With Me video. I genuinely thought that this was a vintage sweater. I was really excited to find it. But then when I got it home, I did see the Cotton On tag. Cotton On is like a lower tier store within the mall. It's like a mall brand. They sell a lot of basics. And so, yeah, I was definitely a little bit bummed to see that tag. But I did go ahead and still list it at $18 because Collegiate sweatshirts, as well as location sweatshirts, Lake Tahoe, you know, all the different cool cities and places, as well as Collegiate graphics, have been huge across the trendy brands like Abercrombie. And so, yeah, I knew that this probably would end up selling, which is why I listed it at $18, and it actually sold for full price within a month of being listed, maybe within a couple weeks, so that was exciting. My earnings came out to $14.19, and my profit was $12. So if this had been true vintage, I probably would have listed it closer to like $35, maybe $45, but that's okay. Still made a profit, so we love that. That's just another lesson to keep in mind. Be sure you're investigating all tags, really looking around trying to figure out if it's truly vintage or not. Okay, now we have another piece that was recently relisted. This is Zara. Really cute 70s style printed bold collared shirt dress. It's like a polo dress. I picked this up from the Goodwill outlet maybe like 9-ish months ago, but like I said, it was very recently relisted and it sold very quickly for a full price of $28. So, if you're not going in, I try to go in every day and relist 20 items. I use my PosherVA bot and I just type in 20 and click go, and it does all the work for me. It goes in and deletes the old listings, copies over the pictures, description, title, copies everything over, then deletes the old one. And the new listing does go into the just in category, which means it goes into your followers' news feeds and just generates more traffic, more eyes on the listing. And, you know, sometimes you get a sale from it, sometimes a full price sale. So, yeah, sold for $28. My earnings were $22. And my profit was $20 on this dress. So this was an ideal profit on this piece for me. I know some people say they can't sell Zara. I am picky with it. It has to either have a higher quality material like linen, cotton, cashmere, wool, that kind of thing, or it has to have a lot going for it. So that dress, I would say, was on the less substantial side of things, but I really like the print. Shirt dresses, that's a category of clothing that sells well for me. It looked brand new, and I knew I could add in a lot of keywords like 70s, retro. There's a lot of themed parties out there, so, you know, anytime you have a specific era of clothing, you always want to add in all of those keywords. Okay, now we have a closet staple. This is J. Jill from their Wherever collection, which is a line within the brand that does sell especially well for me, I would say. It's like a lot of high quality basics. So this is a flutter sleeve, soft, stretchy jersey knit midi or maxi length dress, I'm forgetting. It has a keyhole opening at the chest, a ruffled hemline, looks brand new, and I mean, this is just such a nice closet staple, capsule wardrobe, minimalist, contemporary kind of piece. I also added in keywords like office, career, brunch, church. Listed this at $40, and after, I would say 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks of being listed, I was offered $30, which I did accept. That was, again, my ideal price for this dress. So my earnings were $24 and my profit was $22. So yeah, within J. Jill, I do really like their Wherever collection, also their Pure Jill line, their Love Linen line. Okay, next up we have a sweater that sold really quickly. I was anticipating this selling very quickly. The brand is Quince, and this brand pretty much always flies out of my closet. This is a 100% organic cotton, size large, classic fisherman sweater, and this sold same day of being listed. This Quince brand, they are known for making high quality pieces that are sustainable and will last a while, but still being affordable. So this sweater, even though it's organic cotton, it only retailed for $40. So, you know, typically I would say this would retail for closer to around $100. I'm not sure exactly how they cut their costs. They might not have a middleman or something like that. I need to look into how they are able to, you know, offer their items, their high quality pieces at such a discounted rate because, you know, they have like cashmere sweaters that are a lot cheaper than typical retail prices. So yeah, I do really like the brand. I would certainly shop there myself. You guys know I'm all about natural fibers because they last longer, they're more healthy to wear, they're better for the environment, they, you know, hold up longer, the list goes on and on. They're breathable. I need to bop around on their website going into fall and winter time and get some nice high quality basics. Okay, lastly for clothing, we have a 3-item bundle. The first piece is this Beretti sweater. This also sold next day of being listed, day after. It's really cute, size large, extra large. It's 25% wool. The style is adorable. The whole slouchy dolman sleeve silhouette has always performed very well for me. I found this at the Family Thrift Center outlet on $2.50 day. I did film a ship with me video and I got a huge bag that day, so it was a successful trip, I would say. That Quince sweater I purchased there as well. Actually, the third piece in our bundle, this vest, was also purchased on that day. So yeah, I mostly got this because it had a lot of sellable factors to it. The material, wool blend, it's made in Italy, it's a size large, extra large, which is a great size. Popular cut, slouchy. I like the colorway to it, excellent condition. Okay, second piece is by the brand Chico's. This is a newer piece from Chico's. It's a size 3, which is equivalent to a US size 16. Really fun, like scribbled floral print with the tied bottom hem. It has a batwing sleeve, so this is kind of almost like a poncho top. And this is really nice. You could wear it in the spring with white pants and sandals, and then in the fall with dark jeans and boots to, you know, stretch it into all seasons. So got this. I've had this listed maybe like a month or two now. And then lastly for this bundle is this Gut Run Shoden embroidered vest. And this sold next day after being listed as well. This is a huge Bolo brand, and there are other factors to this that make it even more sellable than just the brand. It's a size extra large, it has embroidery, it's organic cotton, which I was just mentioning, and it's a really fun cut. Being a vest, you could layer with this, it's seasonally appropriate. And so when all 3 items were added to a bundle, the bundle price came out to $117. I was offered $85, which I did counter to $100, mostly because I wanted $50 for the vest and $30 for the sweater. Those were like my rock bottom prices for these 2 pieces. And so that right there is $80. So yeah, I countered at $100 and she countered me back at $95. And so I basically just like let the Chico's blouse go for $15-ish to make sure that I got the other prices that I wanted in my mind, if that makes sense, which I was fine doing because the Chico's top has sat for a little bit. But yeah, when I have very newly listed items that I know will sell well and I receive a bundle offer on them, I basically just figure out in my mind what my rock bottom prices are for whatever the pieces are, and then whatever else is in the bundle, you know, I figure out if the remaining amount is fine with me. I hope that makes sense. So the bundle price was $117 and she offered me $85. I did counter that to $100 and she countered me back to $95, which I did accept, making my earnings $76. My cost of goods for all 3 pieces were $7.50, and so my profit was $68.50 on this bundle. which I am very happy with. I hope she loves it. Okay, lastly, we have one pair of shoes to end out our shipping. It is a pair of Clark's Moto boots. Really nice. They have a manufactured burnished toe and back heel. I grabbed these from the bins. I was anticipating them sitting just because Clark's is not really a brand that flies out of my closet, but I couldn't leave them because the leather was so nice. This is a reputable brand, even though it does sit, and they were in excellent condition. The bottom soles are definitely going strong. So, and they're also a good size. Yeah, size 9.5. So I had these boots listed at $45. I have had them in my closet for probably like 9 months to a year, but I did recently relist them. And so after they were relisted, I received an offer of $25, which I accepted. I was ready to move them out. And honestly, earnings of $20 is fine for me with this item. My profit was $17. I mostly just did not want to see these go off to a landfill. They were in an older bin. No one was picking them up. I think just because Clark's is not a super in-demand brand, but the quality is there, and I think they're really cute. They're a really nice closet staple fall boot. So yeah, again, make sure you guys are relisting. If you want to try out PosherVA, which I do highly recommend, I do have a discount code. It's Mckinsey20. That gets you 20% off your first month, I want to say. And honestly, once you start doing PosherVA, you will never go back, because I can pretty much guarantee that it will take your business to a new level. Definitely did with mine. And with that, we are done shipping for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please feel free to leave me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, y'all.